just not even going to comment any further.
All right. Good to go?
All right, ready to go. Underground Sea, Dark Ritual, Doomsday. We're doing it, folks. We're doing it. Looks like it's going to resolve. We're going to build a pile. And it's just the gameplay we wanted. Yeah, Doomsday not tested for 1v1. Definitely not. It's a commander card. I think they designed it for CEDH, and they mistakenly put it into Weatherlight. All right, that was a fast pile. As far as putting the pile together, I see an Edge of Autumn in there. Is Rich going to get another turn? Or a first turn? Or is this over? Oh, nope, we're not done. Underground Sea getting put back.
Still not ready. Take your time.
All right, still not ready, I guess. Still thinking about the pile.
That guy said over there. Okay.
Side Norna says, if you live anywhere that is not one of the 5 boroughs, you live in upstate New York. Side Norna, really looking for trouble.
Good. Pick the force.
Are these in the graveyard exile? What do they do?
This is a graveyard. This is an exile.
Sorry.
But this was my graveyard, so if I take it, you get to skip.
Not sorting this one out today. Well, we're gonna send. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Char Twin, thank you for 5 gift subs. Thank you, Char Twin. Appreciate that. Hello, Char Twin. Joe Retro says nothing says upstate like Long Island. You know what? The New York map needs to be looked at very closely, I think. And we need to sort this out. Where does Quebec fit into all of this? All right, Grief pitching Grief after passing the turn. Doomsday, Thoughtseize, Misty. Oh, wow.
3, 6, 9, 10.
Mystery booster player.
Okay, taking Thoughtseize. Looks like Rich had a Force of Will, but I didn't see another blue card.
Are also posted. It's in your table. No, you're 3.
The Epic Storm says, I am technically closer to Montreal than NYC. Yeah. I don't know. Passing the turn, Entomb. So now I believe there are 4 cards left in Eric's library. Atraxa goes into the graveyard.
Draw.
I'll go to 21, you'll go to 4. Yep.
13.
Then your beams will resolve. I'll ping you to 17.
Okay, Atraxa will enter. Life totals getting updated. The life totals are unlikely to be relevant, but Eric keeping all of us updated. Appreciate that. All right, so a couple of cantrips, brainstorms and ponders, dazes, lands. There's an Undercity Sewers in there. And Orcish Bowmaster is the only creature, so that'll be selected.
You're going to Cybertrosis. Yep. That seems like a reasonable choice. And then we just choose an instance.
It's either Daze or Brainstorm now. Has a blue card to pitch the Force for sure now with Ponder. Question is, do we also want Daze? I mean, most likely we're going to see Cavern of Souls. Allow Thassa's Oracle. Maybe Rich taking a look to see if Cavern of Souls is still in the mix.
As paper seedings making their way out to the pairing pool. Once again at 12 p.m. at Mystery Sealed Cross Players and RVR Two-Headed Giant Sealed Players. Your round.
Okay, maybe not. Maybe it was counting something else. Trying to figure out what's in the pile. Takes Brainstorm. Over days.
World. If you're in the room, please report to the stage.
It's that boy Scooter says, I actually live in upstate New York and have authority to make the calls on what is upstate New York. You know what? I'll leave it up to you then. I'm not getting involved.
Sure.
All right, casting to Ponder now. Eric's hand is 2 Doomsdays and a mystery card.
Draw for turn. Yep. Full blue. Cycle Edge of Autumn.
Floating blue, cycling Edge of Autumn, plays Cavern of Souls, naming, okay, so 2 cards left in the library. Devotion is 2.
A little slippery.
Because they 2 cards, yeah. What? Am I missing something?
Okay, that ends the game. Game 1 goes to Eric on Doomsday.
Value Vintage and Fallout players, your seatings are on your phone, your companion app, and will soon be posted on the parents board. Please find your seats for Value Vintage and Fallout.
Sure.
Two-headed giant players, please
2-headed giant players, give me a break.
on.
It's not real magic.
Battle. Ritual.
Dark Ritual getting dazed.
Force. Pitch.
Force pitch and consider to protect Dark Ritual. Okay, so Dark Ritual might resolve. It does. Here's Duress to start. With 2 black mana floating. Animate Dead, Brainstorm, Brazen Ball. Okay. Maybe Rich needed that Ponder to be a bit better. Now firing off another Dark Ritual and Doomsday. Floating 2 black, I believe.
He's changed it quite a bit. So it used to be coveted rules you get.
2-headed giant, is that a Lorcana card? I think it's Flesh and Blood. The other hot new game.
I'm gonna bet give me a second.
You're with goblins down.
I'm gonna do it 14.
Oh yeah, you can.
All right, players keeping the phone updated. Appreciate that. It's funny, the one match that life total is getting updated on the phone, and we were all aware it's probably the one where the life totals matter the least, but yeah. Pokimoki is here, says Flesh and Blood Pro Tour is this weekend. Excited for coverage. Wow. Wow. All right, we can see a little bit of the deck as Rich looks through. Kind of hard to tell what's missing just running through, but it looks like Rich pulled out some Force of Wills. Maybe can see that there's a Force of Will missing. Couldn't really tell. All right, a Ponder to start the turn for Eric.
I'm gonna take the top. We're already in the right order. Go ahead. I'm gonna fetch City Sewer. Yep. 18. 3.
Okay, Rich will go to 18 after the fetch. Undercity Sewers, Surveil.
Surveil. I'll get that top. Okay. Draw.
Kept it on top, so maybe it's a form of disruption. Looks like 3 cards left in Eric's library. Drew a card, pondered a card.
Respond by cycling street race. Okay. Go to 7.
Okay, so responding to a grief by cycling Street Wraith, Cavern of Souls will be the only card in hand for Eric. So far, this pile is looking pretty good. Plays the Cavern of Souls, most likely naming what we... Ooh, Dress Down in response to Thassa's Oracle ends the game. So a Thassa's Oracle that could not be countered. No cards in the library. Dress Down. That must have been the card on top of Rich's library. Wins the game for Rich. Going to game 3.
Sure. My opponent just cast a word.
One card on the bottom for Eric. And Eric is on the play. Polluted Delta pass.
They're supposed to be hitting cards.
Yeah, I played the Star Wars card game by Decipher back in the day, and Pokemon. And I've played a bunch of other card games over the years. Played the Game of Thrones LCG, Legend of the Five Rings. Tried Netrunner, couldn't really get into it. And a bunch of others. I know I joke around about Lorcana and Flesh and Blood, but I think it's healthy to play other card games. It always made me appreciate Magic more. Like, Magic just has so much going on. But other card games have a lot to offer.
Wasn't cycle everybody. What's that? Doctor wasn't cycle everybody. Gotta try to draw days.
All right, so a Grief pitching Archon of Cruelty, Brainstorm in response. All right, so the hand is revealed now from Grief, Force of Will, Preordain, Thought Seize, Underground Sea, and Consider.
Reading? Consider.
Preordain and Consider will be taken after Reanimate on Grief, so a little bit of scamming action going on. And that'll make it really difficult for Eric to rebuild here. Cantrip's gone, left with a Thought Seize and a Force of Will. And Rich, of course, has a clock. Gonna fire off the Thought Seize. Force, Brainstorm. That's pretty good.
I'm not at liberty.
What do you even take here? I guess Brainstorm? Doesn't really feel that exciting, but I guess you have to take Brainstorm, right? So now Eric knows he'll have to fight through a Force, pitching Force at minimum.
We'll take care of all that.
It looked like Eric drew a card and passed the turn without even looking at it. I love stuff like that. At Undercity Sewers, Surveil. They're forcing us to surveil every freaking game now.
Stop that. One and 11. So, yep. Oh my god, I can't do this. Yep.
All right, Grief keeps swinging away. That time Eric took a look at the card. Firing off Cabal Ritual.
Yes.
Gonna try Doomsday, and that's gonna get Force. We know Eric has a Force. If it's another blue card, he can protect this Doomsday.
You go to 5 off this right now. Attack.
Okay, it looks like Rich is thinking about letting Doomsday resolve.
Right, because even on 5, I attack 3. So you need a setup that's going to kill me, which is doable. No, you're good, you're good. Well, I'll just look now. So...
Okay, Force of Will to protect Doomsday after Force of Will to try to counter it. Doomsday is going to resolve. Life totals are updated correctly, it seems. 14-5, and now Doomsday. One card left in Rich's hand. This is tight. This is close.
what you're going for, unless I am.
Yeah, I could choose to.
Yeah.
Okay, a quick look through the deck. Rich seems to know what the plan is for Eric. Attacking and wastelanding, and the wasteland ends the game. Rich seemed to know that that would be game winning, and it was. Rich gets the match.